A lot of people ask me uh, how or am I able to keep my car in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy? And the short answer to that is you are able to keep your car in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy if you make the payment and stay on time. And it doesn't matter uh, uh, if your car has a payment and you owe more than the car is worth. It doesn't matter whether you file bankruptcy to how you keep your car. The car lender will ask for a reaffirmation agreement. If that car lender is not willing to repossess the car if you don't do a reaffirmation agreement, generally I wouldn't recommend doing a reaffirmation agreement. I would just, it's probably not in your best interest. You probably can't certify that it's in your best interest. It probably would be better to just continue making the payment if that's possible in your case. So a lot of credit unions will not let that happen. Some lenders like Ford Motor Credit will not let that happen. But if that's possible, if you have a lender where they will let that happen, and I'll always ask them, then I would recommend not doing a reaffirmation agreement, just keeping your payment current. You can't get behind, though, if you don't do a reaffirmation agreement. You need to stay current for the rest of the payments because otherwise they will just come and repossess it. But that's not a lot different than if you did a reaffirmation agreement. And so can you keep your car? Yes, generally, if you owe more than the car is worth or about what the car is worth, you can definitely keep the car if you keep making the payments. There is a wrinkle to that, though, which is that if you have a car that's almost paid off or partly paid off, and it's worth the amount that's paid off, say you owe $10,000 on the car and it's worth $12,000 or $15,000, there is some equity in the car, just like if you had an equity in your house. And that equity could be non-exempt equity depending on your other exemptions in the bankruptcy. And so if you owed $13,000 on the car and it was worth $15,000, there is $2,000 perhaps, or $1,000, well, before the exemptions, there's $2,000 in equity. And you may have the exemptions to protect that equity, but if you don't, then it's in all likelihood you're going to, in a Chapter 7, have to pay the creditors that $2,000 in order to keep the car. The way you pay the creditors is by cutting a check to the trustee, or multiple checks. Depending on the trustee, they'll let you pay it over 10 months. Most will let you do that, pay it over 10 months. But there's complications and there's different practices by different trustees, so that's not a guarantee. We do our best to mitigate any possible complications, so we will talk with you about that in advance. But generally, the answer to the question is yes, you can keep your car if you make your payment. I hope that's helpful to you. Thanks for tuning in. We have a website, fresh-start.law. We have a phone number at that website, and we have chat, and we also have a tool where you can make a consultation appointment where we'll give you a call at a specific time. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you watch another video.